Hello friends, Tanya here, and today I am here on release day of the new Simon Hurley Under the Sea bundle. We have stamps here with, this is called Under the Sea, with all of these wonderful sea life images and a bunch of coordinating sentiments. The Spellbinders coordinating die set is under the same name and it will cut out all of the images but none of the sentiments. I've taken most of the sea life image stamps and lined them up in two of the quarters on this stamp wheel. It has the pie wedges, so it will cover half of this sheet of cardstock in one pass. And I used those guidelines to help me create a pattern, a random pattern with these images to fill most of the space that's available. I'm using VersaFine. Well, no, I'm not using VersaFine. I'm using a clear embossing ink. Honestly, I get the ink pads, or I've had these ink pads for a long time, and I re-ink them with just glycerin, and I hadn't talked about it before now because I'd been testing it out for about a year, and I've been really quite content, happy with the way it re-inks. So if you are having troubles finding Versamark or clear embossing ink refills, you can go to your pharmacy, to the drugstore. It's in the pharmacy section. You can pick up just some glycerin to use on your ink pads too. I find that to be a very helpful thing because the clear embossing ink refills tend to go out of stock a lot. This is one of my favorite inks to use. It's very versatile and you can use it for heat embossing, which is what I'm going to use that for here. We're going to do a little bit of inking or ink resist, stamp resist. I've stamped this image twice on the white cardstock with the clear embossing ink, and I'm going to use this white satin pearl embossing powder. This is one of my favorite techniques, and I haven't used it in a while because I don't know. I honestly don't know. I do love this one, and this is one I go back to often. Sometimes I just do the white satin pearl on white cardstock, and that creates a subtle pattern on your background, and it also has a little bit of texture, and it also has that beautiful satiny pearl shine. Now that I have all of that powder sprinkled onto my cardstock, I'm going to use my heat tool to heat all of that embossing, and you can just see all of those images come to life. And this is about when I figure out that a couple of my stamps didn't transfer completely onto the cardstock. And that happens when you put a bunch of different stamps on your platform. Sometimes they just don't have enough room on the stamp platform to really get a good image every time. That is why I did stamp them 3 times each with the embossing ink, but I guess I didn't see all of the areas that I needed to give a little extra attention. That's okay. It'll blend in the background. It's not going to be that noticeable since this is not the main, this isn't the main item of the show here. Now that I have all of that embossing powder melted, it is just gorgeous. And honestly, you really could leave it right there. In fact, I might go back and do this again and just do my white satin pearl on the white cardstock. That is such a beautiful look to me. And it would be a great background to add just a little pop of color with your main image stamped in another color and die cut and put on the front of the card with a sentiment. That would be an awesome way to make several very cohesively themed cards, because then you would have your pattern with the same stamp set. That is a great way to make your own coordinating products. I am using 3 dye-based inks here. These are just some ink pads from my stash. I've mentioned recently that I spent 2 days re-inking and rehabilitating all of the ink pads in my stash. I have a lot. These happen to be Stampin' Up! Inks. I never got rid of my ink pads or my ink refills, and they are similar in color to lots of other lines. This is the Salvage Patina and Broken China Distress, easy for me to say, Distress Sprays, and this just leaves a nice tone-on-tone shimmer. I've sprayed that over our ink blended background, and I'm going to just dab the extra off of the embossed areas because those will resist both the ink and the distress spray. This adds a beautiful subtle shimmer. Now I'm going to take some sort of clean clear water and just spatter that all over this background. Since these are dye inks, they will react to that water and add more spatter marks. And to intensify this even more, I brought out my splatter white, and I have this in a little dish that I can reconstitute with a little bit of water. I'm using the same paintbrush. I believe this is one of the paintbrushes that you can get from Spellbinders. I'm just going to try to get as much of the white paint back out of that large round brush before I rinse it off in the water. Now that I have all of that spattering done, and once I've let it dry, I'm going to use the largest die from the 5x7 Matting Basics Set B. I'm going to center that as well as I can on this half sheet of cardstock that I have done all this work on. I also cut a piece of white cardstock to back this because it was quite abused with all of the water and the heat embossing. I want to help prevent there being any warping. So by die cutting the same size piece of cardstock and backing this, I have a slightly sturdier and more flat piece. I still have all of those stamps on the stamp wheel, so I'm going to decorate the inside of the card. I laid the card base in the stamp wheel, and I took that removable side out so that I could lay the card base in there without having to try to tape it closed. Now I'm using the lightest of those dye inks that I used and using a blending brush to try to apply this in a light coating. Now I'm going to stamp this on the white cardstock, and I am trying to make sure I get all of the images to transfer appropriately. Next, I try to push with my fingers, just trying to get as good impression as I can. I'm going to come back in and add another coat of ink here. I think I ultimately pick up the ink pad. Yep. And this is a very juicy ink pad. So I do go back over with my blending brush to try to even that out. I really don't want a super dark image here. And it does turn out darker than I intend. And still missing some of those spots. So I'm trying very hard, doing a little stamp CPR here, and I do manage to get most of those images to transfer. Again, not a big deal if they don't, but I'm trying. I'm really trying. Sometimes you just need to stamp these things individually. I did find that my particular stamp set has, and I get a prototype. So I am certain that yours are going to be just fine. But my octopus had just a little bit of a thinning of the design in one of the arms. So I just ultimately stuck a little piece of cardstock between the stamping platform clear plate and the stamp to shim that little bit of his arm up so that I got a full impression. And that worked great. So now I have stamped the other half of this design, and it looks pretty bold. It's a little darker than I intended, and I will do something else to address that later. I did have a piece of clear acetate covering the other side of the inside of the card so I wouldn't transfer any ink there accidentally. Now that I have the inside of the card worked on, I'm going to put this first piece that we worked on the card front and try to make sure it's evenly spaced in or matted by the card base. Then we're going to use the Hero Hues reactive inks in Thistle and Grape Slush. with the octopus. And you can see that little paper shim under my octopus arm. So if you ever have a stamp that isn't quite evenly even in its thickness and is missing a spot where when you stamp it, you can try putting just a little paper shim under the part of the stamp that isn't transferring appropriately. That is a great way so that you don't have to wait for a replacement if you choose to contact the company and request a different stamp. This worked perfect. I just made a little note in my stamp set, and look at that, stamped perfectly, just fine. Now we'll take the coordinating die, and I've stamped our cute little octopus twice, and I'm going to tack it down with a little bit of repositional tape. This is the Best Ever Craft Tape from Spellbinders, and I'm using my little Scout and cutting him out. Fits in there perfectly. It does cut out some of the white space in between, so this isn't something I could do if I was going to fussy cut it. I love that. We're also going to use one of the Essential Modern Ovals. Actually, I'm going to use two. I cut one from white cardstock and one, a slightly larger one, from vellum. I'm going to tack that oval in my mini Misty here and line up our octopus for placement and put a sentiment from that stamp set. This one says Waving Hello. We're going to stamp that with the VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And I think I do stamp this twice, and that can be a little risky with shapes that you secure inside your mini Misty. This time it worked out just fine. I just apply light pressure to transfer that ink. We don't want to distort our image. I have some clear embossing powder here, and I'm going to heat set that, and we'll have a nice raised and shiny sentiment on the front of our card also. This just really adds some extra definition for our octopus and our sentiment so it doesn't get lost in that busy, bold background. I did cut an extra layer of white cardstock to go on the back of our octopus. And as you can see, I waste no cardstock. If there's a boo-boo on something, it just becomes backing for something. I do have a piece of scrap cardstock on the back of that white oval. We'll adhere that to our vellum oval, trying to center that as best we can, and add another layer of scrap cardstock on the back of the vellum oval to create that floating look on your card base. Now it's time to add this, and I'm going to try to center this on our card front using my heavyweight block to get that to adhere nicely on the front of our card. You do have to give it a little extra time with the embossed images on there. Then we'll center our octopus up, add that weight again, and then I went and found I remembered that I had these beautiful purple opalescent and the teal aura? No, these are teal. I grabbed the wrong packaging. That's the teal opalescent. So we've got purple and teal, and they do have that beautiful iridescent shine that does shade between purple and teal for both of them. It looks fantastic, and it really ties the colors of the octopus and the background together. So I'm adding a nice scattering of this. This time I'm going from upper left to lower right. Sometimes I go in the opposite direction. Sometimes I just do a couple images. Now I tried putting our octopus on the inside just over that background, and it is way too busy. So I took another piece of white cardstock, die cut it with the largest of the 5x7 Matting Basics Set B out of some plain white cardstock. I've got our octopus laying on that cardstock just to find placement. And then I am stamping directly on that piece with another stamp from the Under the Sea stamp set. This one says, "You occupy my thoughts," which of course is punny, and I love it. So now I'm going to center this piece on that background that we stamped inside, and I think that actually creates a nice touch on the background. Next, I will add this last little octopus, and we're going to snug him right up against our sentiment, which I really like the way it tucked in the octopus's arms. and we'll use the teal opalescent sequins on the inside of the card, which at first I thought that would be a little weird, but it really pulls those two colors together. I love teal or aqua and purple or lavender together. I think they make very good playmates. They're both secondary colors, not primary, secondary, I think. Maybe not. Well, yes. Anyway, I think this turned out really cute. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you go out, either dig through your stash and find some sea-themed products and create your own version of this, or check out Under the Sea. If you're interested in any of the products that I used today, check the description box. There will be a link to a list of all of the products I used today. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Like, subscribe, all the things. Until next time, here are a couple more videos I thought you might enjoy. Bye-bye.